This is the final word for Wisden.com, fueled by Kookaburra Cricket. I'm Adam Collin, and I've got with me England coach Mark Robinson. Your side's in a pretty good space. Earlier in the week, a washout, you thought results might have to go your way. Now you can pretty much sew up your semi-final berth by beating South Africa tomorrow.
Can we? I didn't actually work that out. I've been too buzzy rude about the early morning rain we had and things like that. But if that's the case, that's exciting.
Did you get a chance to watch them last night? They did capitulate with the bat.
Yeah, look, they've always been a bit of a temperamental team, South Africa. On the day, they're absolutely brilliant and they can beat anybody. But sometimes, they've got that collapse in them. So, look, but we can't take them lightly. They've got some fine cricketers.
Do you prepare with that in mind? Do you think about how you can potentially punch the bruise if they get in trouble at some stage during the game?
Well, you always talk about that, trying to get on top and stay on top, and keeping that foot on the throat to matter who you play. But as I say, we've had enough going on about trying to manage facilities, manage the weather, and everything else. We haven't really got to that bit. We're going to do this afternoon. The coaches we'll watch the South African game from last night, and we'll have a team meeting this evening with the girls, and then go from there.
What's the camaraderie like around the group at the moment? How are they feeling? It's been a long time in the hotel for the most part.
Yeah, look, we've had a good week. We've flogged it a little bit. The batters had 2 days at a club ground where we had good surfaces, but the bowlers couldn't run up. So coaches threw heavily, but the batters were able to get some volume, which was much needed. And then today the bowlers have been able to run through properly here at the ground. It's obviously a lot drier. And then we just topped up the batters. So, we've probably got a little bit of tiredness into them, which is a good thing. I keep saying to them, I'd rather went into more slightly jaded but feeling better prepared than totally undercooked and a bit hyper.
Having had a chance to have a look in the middle before, have you decided on a team yet, or vaguely what the 12 might be perhaps?
Look, it's every day's different, isn't it? The wickets we had in Antigua and Guyana were completely different to we found over here. Had bounce and carry our game against Bangladesh, and it swung a lot. It was ever so humid. We watched the game last night. It didn't swing as much, but it was a little bit up and down, not down but up at times. A bit too pace is probably a better description. And I've just seen yesterday's wicket, and it had a few leaves on it, different type of grass. And then I've looked at ours for tomorrow, and it completely looks different to anything else. So I think it just shows you how flexible you've got to be where you're thinking. You're trying to read the wicket, but it doesn't look like our Bangladesh wicket, and it doesn't look like the wicket we played on last night. If it's really humid, obviously that's another consideration. The weather, it's windy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which obviously doesn't generally swing as much with the wind, but boundaries a bit further out, which is another consideration to take out. So I'm probably on to plan C for tomorrow.
Is there a temptation to play Tash Farrant, extra seamer? We know that South Africa will be all seam.
Well, I came in thinking as I say this morning, with Jenny Gunn and Tash both, potentially playing all of them with Sophie and Heather backing up. But as I say, the wickets, it's how it's been used, and the boundaries are out, and it's windy, and it doesn't look as swingy. So I don't know. We'll have to have a little rethink where we are. Natalie Stiver bowled really well the other day, and he was outstanding. And your best bowlers are always the best bowlers, but Tash is definitely in the frame. The slight challenge would be with a win like this. She'd want the same end as Anya, which would cause us a slight problem. And Jenny Gunn, we've got to consider her with all her experience.
And in terms of the other group in Guyana, have you watched much of that, and how daunting are Australia looking at the moment?
Oh, look, Australia are a good team, aren't they? They've been talked up by you guys a lot, which is always entertaining for us to watch back home. But they're a good team, and nobody can say anything. And we've probably been quite jealous of the continuity that group's had, haven't they? So it's been obviously stop-start over here, but we're just trying to concentrate on ourselves. We've got a hell of a game against a South Africa team where it'll be their cup finals. They've got to beat us, and they'll be coming at us hard with some very good cricketers.
Thanks, Mark Robinson, England coach, for joining Wisden.com, fueled by Kookaburra Cricket.
Thank you.
For me, just a slight difference from my normal grip of straight down the seam. When I'm trying to bowl the outswinger, just try and tilt it slightly, just towards probably first slip for me. And then obviously my arm path comes into play and gets it into position. But just on a slight little tilt, just facing first slip. That's how I bowl my outswinger.